My name is Melanie Fahlman-Reid. I'm an instructor in the English department, and I'm in my 39th year at Capilano University. When I was hired, our big debate was whether or not to have free tuition, and we prided ourselves on teaching whoever showed up. We had students from regional centers who were doing high school upgrading, and we made the decision to go out to those centers and teach them. We had people in our community who had cognitive barriers of various sorts, physical barriers, and we made the decision to develop programming to specifically address their needs. Our goal was simply not to provide teaching that would lead to jobs, so we certainly, as employed people ourselves, recognize the value of employment, but to create better citizens for our region, for our communities, for the country. And we've worked to that end ever since. When we hear cuts, or when I hear cuts to programs that I'm not in, technically, studio art, textile arts, adult special education, medical office assistant, integrative design, I don't think of programs, I think of students. And the students flow across programs. What we do is provide learning opportunities for citizens in our region. For young people who come in, for old people, for anybody who shows up and wants to learn. We try and provide the skills and the tools they need to learn. What I'm seeing now in this lack of process is a destruction of all the collegial values and responsiveness to the community that built Capilano. We've had cuts before. We've lost programs many times since I've been here, but never in this fashion, where an administration has barricaded itself behind doors, and 3 or 4 senior members have made a decision to take us in a direction that they will not articulate, where I've heard a university president make the fatuous comment, "Believe and you will see," without articulating in any way what that belief is, defies belief. To hear senior administrators say that we don't need computer sciences because computing's taught widely throughout the university strikes me as a confusion of software applications with computer sciences or just plain foolishness. To hear that art survives because we still have a theater program when we lose textile arts and studio arts breaks my heart. And to see a university turn on vulnerable people, people who want high school upgrading, people who need transition programs for special education so they can partake as citizens within a community, is disheartening. The decisions that were made by this board and by the Senate lacked the process required under the University Act. It lacked the collegial process that's stated in the admissions and values of the university, and it ignored the history of a regional community college that grew out of public interest and a desire to make post-secondary education more accessible to a broad range of citizens in British Columbia. I think it's disgraceful, and I urge all citizens in the Lower Mainland, in our region, to protest the cowardice of this board and the ineptitude of this administration that chooses to blame government funding rather than their own lack of process and the incredible growth in administrative expenses. Thank you.